Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormy B-Man, and I am back. Welcoming you to Nerds on Culture with Stormy B-Man for this Monday, August 10th, 2026. This is number 168 in the series of Nerds. And this episode, we are covering some of the best weapons in film. Yeah, we're going to talk about some of that action and adventure from the side of being able to use gadgets and weaponry for our screen heroes and heroines to do their thing. And that's kind of fun. It's like being reflective on that because audiences have been constantly entertained throughout cinema history. One thing that comes to mind is James Bond, because James Bond does some stuff, man, at least the older James Bond before Daniel Craig came into play. But it's a subject that we can cover more than one occasion, but this is the introductory show where we get a chance to talk about this particular subject. And we'll also take into consideration what some of the listening audience has to say out there about this, because I'm going to tell you something. There's probably been some films that you all have seen that we haven't seen, and you've seen some really wild and weird things happen cinematically when it comes down to the characters on screen using weapons. So with that being said, let me introduce my partner in crime. We got Drew Titan, LLC, in the building with me this evening. What's going on with you, brother? How you doing?
Ain't no thing but a chicken wing, man. You know, this title is, this is what it is right here, man. You know, we talked about this for a while. You gotta understand some of the things we're gonna be talking about, right? Some of them might be from a B movie you might not have seen, something you've forgotten. I know Derek Gaines is gonna know about all the weapons from our era, you know, like the 80s, man. And you know, I was a kid, man. I grew up on barbarian movies, no matter how horrible they were. I grew up, you know, I was born in 75, y'all. So I saw the first Star Wars in the movies. You know what I'm saying? And there's a weapon in there. Y'all don't know who it is. Y'all don't know what it is. That, you know, when you see things like that as a kid, man, oh my gosh, man. So these things are etched in my mind, man. And all through the 80s, what y'all looking at right now, some of y'all youngsters, y'all don't even know what this is right here. But let me tell you something. This was the coolest one of the coolest weapons you could ever see, man.
Yes, sir.
The movie's called Crawl. But listen, man, when I saw the preview for this, that weapon alone is what I begged my dad. I said, we gotta go see that. And he took me to see it, man. And the ending sucked really bad. But man, that was just, I grew up on fantasy stuff, man. I grew up, you know, the original G.I. Joe, the original Transformers. I grew up on that stuff, man. And before that, you know what I'm saying? But we're gonna talk about it, man. And we might miss some. But man, oh man, this right here is what it is right here.
Yeah, and I spent last night going over some of the things that we considered when we were looking into tonight's show. So if you got some stuff that you put to the side so that we can have more conversation on it, I'm cool and definitely fine with that. But what I was able to go and find some little short gifts of scenes from movies and stuff. So I'll be using that through our conversation. And since we're kicking it off with Crawl, this is one that I have found on him. Check it out.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Look at that. Comes right back to him.
Ooh, that's cool, bro.
It's a Japanese star with blades on it, and it don't cut him, and he catches it. It comes back like a boomerang. Come on now. And I recommend y'all see this movie. And there's a reason why I say the ending sucked. There's a reason. But damn, man, that was the coolest thing I ever saw. And I saw this in the movies, y'all. Stormy, what year this came out? Like 84, 82, something like that?
Oh, man. Don't start me to line, because that's some of the stuff that I didn't look up. Mm-hmm. But
I'll look it up right now.
It was in the early 80s, though.
Crawl.
Definitely the early 80s.
83.
Yeah. See?
1983. And the poster. Come on, I was a sucker for all of this, brother. I was a sucker for all of this. Liam Neeson was in this. You remember?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, movies like this, that's where a lot of those old actors cut their teeth.
Yeah.
Because they were making these like they considered it at the time B movies, you know. And it's just something, you know, and you and I referred to films like this as popcorn flicks. We go to the movies and it might be playing with something else.
Right.
But we wanted to see that because it's it might have been a more adult themed movie playing, but then it was playing also. So, because that was back when movie houses would play more than one movie, and you get a chance to see more than, you know.
Stormy, you got it right. I just thought of another show. This is why this show is so dope. We think of things as we're doing the show. Write this down.
Mm-hmm.
Best villain soldiers. The best
soldiers?
Villain soldiers, like the bad guys. Like, for example, stormtroopers.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? We never knew. Like, man, how the hell do they have so many of these guys in these white, in this white uniform? These, you know, and then you realize they're all clones.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of soldiers from different movies, and that it's like, you know what, they were kind of cool. Stormtroopers were cool to me to look at. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but we'll get back to this. Krull, 1983. This, I can't remember the name of it. The damn weapon. What was the name of it? I can't think of it.
The glaive, something like that. GLAIVE. That's what it was called.
Yo, there was a part 2 to this?
Yes, I think it was.
No way. The glaive. Yep. There was how did I miss a part 2 to this?
It probably didn't get a general release. Certain films from that time that got sequels, especially if they were like made on what they used to call it a quickie budget, which means a fast turnaround for profit. They didn't get the general release that the original film got, especially if the budget might have got slashed. Like 1976, the remake of King Kong.
Yeah.
Dino De Laurentiis produced that film with Jeff Bridges and Charles Grodin and Jessica Lange. That was Jessica Lange's first starring role, believe it or not. And she went on to do The Postman Rings Twice with Jack Nicholson and stuff.
Right.
And she became a top Hollywood actress in her day. But King Kong, where she played the remake's version of Fay Ray, that Kong was attracted to, the blonde beauty, so to speak. King Kong was a successful movie. It had a huge budget because they built a King Kong, a 40-foot King Kong model, a robot.
Yeah.
But it didn't work well. So it only made it in a couple of scenes in the film. The rest of it was a guy by the name of Rick Baker who went around in a gorilla costume, right? But the reason that I'm mentioning King Kong is, like Krull, there was a sequel to King Kong called King Kong Lives, but it didn't get a general release like the original film.
Right.
Kong, who fell off the top of the World Trade Center, supposedly to his death, scientists, when they excavated his body from New York, they took him to some kind of lab and gave him like a heart transplant of some kind, like they put an artificial heart in him or something. But they kept him alive.
Oh.
But again, now I've never seen the movie, but I'm aware of it now because even on Amazon, you can actually buy the DVD or the Blu-ray on Amazon. I was like, I didn't even know they made a sequel to King Kong. Didn't even know. Did you know?
I had no idea. Yeah. Yo, Shogun stupid. He said the name of the weapon is called the Glaze. Glaze.
And you know right where it stabs you, right?
Yep. I'm looking online. It says there's no official sequel to Krull, but Marvel made a concept. It says right here, Marvel Comics published a 2-issue comic book adaptation of the original movie. With the second issue, it's the story of the first film. So it sounds like it may have been a prequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally, when they do sequels, they're good for that. They put it in a comic book form. But goodness, man. This weapon, I wanted this.
It was cool. It was badass.
I wanted this. I was like, yeah, they need to make a toy of this. They never did. Well, they got like a replica now, but I'm 50. fuck I'm gonna buy that for? But hell yeah, I'd buy that. What am I talking about? I'd buy it. They'd make it, I'd buy it. Hell yeah. I'm grown. Fuck that.
Right?
I'd buy that.
It's badass though, man.
Yeah. This movie was so cool. This movie
And that was
so
back
cool.
when special effects was kind of cheesy and everything.
Yeah.
But you didn't even care about that when back in those times. You just wanted to see the stuff take place. Because you know what I liken to this when I watched that little clip? You remember Inframan, the Shaw Brothers flick?
Of course.
It's like the special effects with Inframan was cheesy like that, but it was so cool, right?
Man.
Like,
If you didn't enjoy that in the 80s, man, there was something wrong with you. And that's why you gotta understand, chat, that when they remake certain things, and we do some amazing things nowadays with CGI, it's like, man, I can't wait to see what they do with this. And then they do weird things like goof up the story, but that's something else. But just to see it is amazing. So I got the Glaze on this list. No particular order tonight, but I got the
yeah. Now check it out. Like, okay, we're talking about special effects in the recent, viewing of Spider-Man. Did you see what I was talking about how the actual what do they call it? The live version of him web slinging and stuff like that, how much better it looked.
Yeah.
Because even though they did put some, like they had to erase the cables and wires and stuff that held the stuntman up doing the swinging and stuff, but he was actually swinging. And they may have speed the camera up a little bit for the motion and stuff, but it was live swinging. It was not all that CGI that we've seen in the other films.
Right.
And it looks better. And the suit on Tom Holland and his stuntmen live on set looks so much better than that CG stuff that they covered him with in the other films.
Right.
It's like, it's tangible. You could actually see. And there were certain elements of shadows and stuff. That suit looked really good, didn't it? It looked really good.
It did. And the fact, like you pointed out, 80% of the film, he was Spider-Man. And it was true to life, comic book accurate, the actual uniform. But it didn't clash with the, I know it's a superhero film, but it didn't clash with the realism.
Yeah.
It's like you got used to it.
Yes.
And you saw him in the daytime in the outfit and in the nighttime in the outfit. Right? And I don't know if people realize the eyes kind of move when he was like that's how you kind of like get the gist of his attitude. Like,
and
they
also
would kind of like move.
That was something that Peter did before Stark met him. Because he had goggles before, remember?
Yeah.
And the goggles did adjust too.
Yeah.
So Peter was, very intelligent and quite a genius of a young man for his youthful age, being able to do that. And he still incorporated it in his newer suit costume that he home designed. And again, remember when I was telling you that I wouldn't be surprised if he used some elements of what is his webbing for his costume? Because if you notice, his costume didn't get torn up or ripped up or anything.
Right.
And when Ned was talking to him about, hey, what do you do to make your web shoes and this and that? They got into that conversation. He's like, what about this and that? And then he's like, oh, I can't tell you everything. It's like, I believe that, because there was a moment, it passed by when they were doing montage stuff. He was sitting at the computer and the sewing machine was going in the background. It was sewing his costume.
Yeah.
Did you catch that?
Yeah, I did.
That was kind of cool.
Those little things. That was cool, man.
So Yeah, another one of the weapons that I thought was kind of cool was this one here. Just a quick glyph of it, where when the film came out, you know, Daredevil with Ben Affleck was pretty. If you see the director's cut, it's a much better film. If you saw the theatrical release, a lot like Zack Snyder's fare with WB, with the studios, for whatever reason back then, they really fancied tampering with the director's, you know, version of how they wanted to make these films. But Daredevil, the director's cut, has some elements in it where they introduce Elektra. You know, Elektra Nachos, who becomes Daredevil's love interest and everything, played by Jennifer Garner. And she uses the Japanese sai weapon. And I thought that was kind of cool, you know. And she used those weapons, and she really learned how to spin them around and everything when she got the role for the film. And she became so good in her little cameo in Ben Affleck's film, they gave her her own movie. And that's where the film Elektra was born off of. You know, she was like, you know, so good at what she did in there. And, you know, that was pretty solid, you know.
Yeah, the fact that she, that's commitment, man.
Yeah.
Take the time to learn. I don't know if she's like an expert at using them, but she learned it enough.
She became, by the time that film was done, dude, they did not use a stunt person for her twirling those sai. She could use them like a real person who has practiced them. She was very good at that.
Well, she did very well, man. You know, and you guys got to understand when you have a character and they're using a weapon, you're introducing it to the silver screen. It's the character, the weapon becomes a part of that character. It becomes synonymous with the character. So it's like when you think of the character, one of the things that makes them cool is their weapon.
Right.
And this is a nice segue into the lightsaber. Because
yes, sir.
If you, as a kid, if you know anything, when I first saw Star Wars, you know, I was young to catch on the storylines. But if I remember anything when I left that theater, it was the lightsaber fight. It was the coolest damn thing you could ever see at that. And this was what, Stormy, 79? It was the
77 for Star 77.
Wars. I was my parents took me to the theater to see it. I was a kid, but I remember leaving like, oh, what the? You know what I had? You know what I had, Stormy? Do you remember the lightsaber toy that was like a balloon with a flashlight in it? I had that. Me and my brother had two of them. We'd be fighting in the room.
The original Kenner toys used to have a little, like they were little plastic figures. Their arms could move up and down.
Yeah.
And for the Jedi, they had a little pin thing that
they would come out,
and you just slide it down, and the lightsaber came out of their hand. That was so cool.
I remember that. My cousin had the Luke Skywalker. He had the Luke Skywalker from Empire Strikes Back. He had the lightsaber in his hand.
Yeah,
in the arm. You know, and he had the bigger ones too, the 12-inch Darth Vader and Obi-Wan.
Yeah. And
so,
one of the things that people has said after the first couple of Star Wars films, The Empire Strikes Back, and of course A New Hope, the original film, when George Lucas has said that he was doing the second trilogy, he talked about fans and fandom stating like all of the wonderful things they would love to see done with the lightsaber. And in the Phantom Menace, there's a great scene, which is this little clip here is from Obi-Wan fighting Darth Maul in the Phantom Menace. But when they were in the when they went to do those negotiations, right? And they were trapped in the hallway by those decal robots, and they got trapped in the corridor. So they were trying to get through this door and they couldn't get through. So Qui-Gon took his lightsaber and he stuck it in the center of the door, and it started burning the door open, you know, like from the center and everything. And they was like, oh, they're coming through, you know. And it's like, but George Lucas, in the behind the scenes on the DVD of that movie, he talked about that. That's the kind of stuff that audiences wanted to see done with a lightsaber. Like, can you stick it in a wall and just cut the wall open?
Those little
like
things,
that, you know?
Yeah.
So they were able to do that throughout the rest of the film series, certain things. But you know what they never did that they were supposed to do? It was in the video game, it was in the comics and everything, even in the graphic novels. In The Empire Strikes Back, there's this one scene where Vader is facing Luke, right? And he's hiding in the dark, and Luke is looking for him, but you can hear him breathing. And Luke is on like a scaffold. He's walking on a mezzanine like type deal. Yeah. And Vader throws his saber, and it knocks the thing down, and Luke comes tumbling down. But what they didn't show is the saber coming back to him using the Force, you know, throwing it and it coming back to him, because in the video game and stuff, you could throw the saber, right? And it come back to you. That's one of the things that they cinematically, they didn't give you that, but they should have, because it's another one of those cool features, but it's not a boomerang thing. It's a Force thing. You use the Force, you throw it, and it comes back. That's just like in what was it, Revenge of the Sith, when Obi-Wan and Yoda had went and they were trying to fight off those stormtroopers, right? And Yoda was throwing his saber and it was stabbing them, killing them, and he'll jump on top of it and pull it back out, right? It's like, So there were so many wonderful things about the lightsaber, man. And of course, as the years went on and technology became better, the way that they make them glow and stuff became different. But if you ask me, I really like the original before he redid the special effects on his films, because it really looked like a true laser on some kind of a, you know, cylinder, right? It's like it came out and it didn't have all these colors like it had now. It was just almost like a grayish white light that moved a little bit. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Man, I'm gonna go watch all of those damn things, man. I love that. Speaking of which, you brought up the video game. By the time, you know, Return of the Jedi came out, you know, it was like the tail end of Darth Vader. But they tell stories in all of these wars, and Darth Vader was really like a badass. And at first, you know, when I saw this, I'm like, man, Vader was better than Darth Maul. He's doing all this. He's doing the kung fu with this. Dude, y'all got to play the video games, man. In the video, matter of fact, I forgot which one, but I was watching the scene on YouTube. Vader has a lot of like students he taught. And I forget which game it was, but Shorty flipped and went to the light. And then he showed up and cut her down. And this dude turned into Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers. You got to get away from him. You can't fight him. You're throwing a force at him, it don't work. You're trying to cut him, it don't work. And he's walking after you, and you're running for your life. That's how badass he is.
Yeah.
There's another game where it says Lord Vader has joined the fight. You got to retreat because you can't beat him. So Vader was a badass, man.
Dude, do you know what they were able to do cinematically though? But you gotta see the movie, because a lot of people, you know, with the newer films, they, you know, some people just kind of fell off. They didn't like what Disney was doing. They didn't like what, you know, Kathleen Kennedy was doing and everything.
Yeah, and dog, it was Battlefront. That's what I was watching. That shit is crazy.
But that movie Rogue One,
that was a dope ass film.
When that third act came and Vader showed up,
holy smoke!
Boy, was he badass in that scene, wasn't he?
Yo, every actor needs an academy. That last dude, when he took the CD, he was like, "Go!" Yo, that was panic. That was panic.
Man, Vader came through there and he was like,
bro, that's one of those scenes.
Everybody out, bro.
That's one of those scenes where we was in the theater and you saw the saber come out and the music dropped. He killed all of those dudes and the door wouldn't open. He was like, yo, take this. And he took it. He stabbed him through the damn door. Them dudes dipped. It was like, go. Yo, he was panicking, bro.
Man, that was awesome. And do you know, I what's so wonderful about that movie for me, Drew and chat, is that I really didn't watch any spoilers, anything from behind the scenes or nothing. So that scene with Vader showing up was truly a surprise for me in the theater. So just imagine my reaction as I see this go down. I was like, holy smokes, it's Vader. It's like, because I wasn't expecting it. I had no knowledge of it whatsoever. And see, that's what I love about like being able to be away from these, because all these people, they want to talk about, oh, behind the scene leaks, this and that. Oh, this is a script leak. This is an action scene leak. I don't want to know that stuff. If I know it, well, there's no sense in going to the movie, really.
No, that's real talk.
So, you know, but to see it sitting in the theater and it's like live and it's like it's happening. All of a sudden, I did not know Darth Vader was going to be in that movie. I did not know that he was going to be in the third act. I did not know that even though this is supposed to be a prequel to A New Hope, I did not know we were going to get that scene like that. And that made that movie excellent to me.
I'm going to tell you how.
Along with Donnie Yen's performance.
I'm going to tell you how it snuck up on me. When the scene was building up, I was watching it like, yo, ain't this the part where, you know, what was it? Episode.
You start to put it together, right?
Like,
we're getting closer, but maybe we're going to see Leia, right? We maybe we're going to see Leia.
Right. I didn't know they were going to do that. But then when the lights went out and they put their guns up, I was like, they're not going to do this. And then you heard the breathing. Man, the theater popped. We was like, oh, shit.
Yep.
And, yo, you find yourself actually rooting for Vader.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
the audience
shit.
was, when I was in the theater, the audience was literally cheering for Vader. They were like, yeah, you know, like, yeah, he's killing these guys.
and you couldn't shoot him. He's blocking everything. He threw that dude onto the ceiling and then cut him in half. It was crazy.
Man, that was awesome.
Smokes.
And you know what was also like that? The Mandalorian, when Luke showed up.
Oh, my God.
Tell me that wasn't like the equivalent. Because, like, that, you know, we're watching it on Disney Plus, right?
Yep.
And if you didn't catch any spoilers or anything like that, and here comes this little ship coming down.
X-Wing fighter. I said, yo, that's Luke. Man, dude. He got out there. And that's another thing. That was after Return of the Jedi. Because Luke's story continued after that.
Right.
And then you realize he was a badass himself.
Yes, absolutely. And he came through there, and that was his Vader-like moment in the Mandalorian when he came in there and rescued them. I was like, now, why couldn't we get more movies on Luke Skywalker? Because
bro,
he
did Force Crush on those robots. That was
insane. Yes,
man. Luke was a badass, man. Oh, you know what else? You know what scene was like that too? Terminator. When they used CGI and brought Schwarzenegger's face back on that Terminator.
Yeah.
Oh shit. When they dropped the beat and the smoke cleared, I'm in the theater like, no, they're not. No, they're not.
Dude, he came stepping out of there.
Oh,
because it was like foggy or steamy or whatever. Yep. And he came walking out. I was like, holy shit, that's Arnold when he was young.
When he was young, yep. The things they do with this stuff, man, outstanding. The theater erupted because I didn't know about that scene at all. But then when the pod opened and all the steam was in, then you heard dun, 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 dun. I was like, hell no, they ain't doing that. And it was him. Oh shit!
But guess
man.
what? You know what? When you go back to that movie and that scene, we didn't have the internet then, so there was no way to really get that spoiled for you. So, again, in the theater, you're like, wait a minute, no, and it's like, yeah, it's like, that's exactly what we're talking about here. That's exactly what we're talking about, where you get a chance to go cinematically and you see something and you're able to enjoy it, for what it is. But that's just like in that clip that I was just showing with Obi-Wan and Darth Maul. Didn't you blow your cap when the scene came and that Duel of Fate song started playing? When Obi-Wan was about to fight Darth Maul, and Darth Maul lit his lightsaber, and then one side lit up, then the other side lit up. Man. Tell me what that was like when you first saw that for the first time. Because he was standing sideways like this, and he lit his saber, and the thing went, and then it went out the other end. It's like, man, that was badass.
And that's another weapon.
Yes.
Because that was the first time we saw that.
Yep.
Man, holy smokes, man. That shit is great, man. So we got the glaze, the lightsaber, and Darth Maul's lightsaber.
Yeah, we got the Psy from Electra.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got another one for y'all.
One of my favorites is and we kind of talked about this during the movie, and we'll save something else for later. But I wanted to say when we saw the guy who kicked off the comic book movie craze again, and that was Wesley Snipes as Blade.
Yep.
That scene, that opening scene, first of all, is there a better opening scene than Blade 1, where he's walking into that vampire disco and that techno music is playing, and then he go in there and he get ready to start fighting the vampires, and then I forget what my man's name is that he kept cutting up through the movie, and then later in the movie he finally killed him, but he was like, get him, there he is. And then he turned the music up. Remember, he had the remote there because the music was dun, 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 and he held the remote up, and the music started going up, and Blade just started killing them vampires, man. This right here, bro.
Man, Blade. I don't think there's any more. I can't think of a harder intro to a film than Blade.
Blade is like, man, that right there, bro. I mean, come on.
You saved the MCU. Man, this is Yeah. Blade had a bunch of great gadgets. He had a bunch of them, but that damn sword. What's the name of that sword?
I have no idea if his sword had a name or not, but I know that badass handle. You click that button on it. And if you holding it, it'll damn cut your hand off.
Cut your hand to bits, not off. It'll cut you to bits. Your fingers, there's no putting it back together. Your hand
Yeah,
like a jigsaw puzzle. Dude picked that up. All of those blades came out. Matter of fact, I told you my boy bought it. And I'm sitting there looking at it. He's like, you can pick it up. The handle don't do shit. I was like, nah, you're not that. I was about to ask you. What's wrong with your handle, man? I saw the movie, man. I was like, yo, I was looking at it like,
did it really do it though?
no, I didn't. It's just a regular handle. And I'm looking at it, and he's like, you can pick it up. I said, yo, man, I was going to ask you because, I saw the movie. The fuck, man? I grab it, and my fingers go to bits. It's funny, man. Him and his dad collected swords. And he had called me. He said, yo, I just got the blade sword. They just delivered it. And it was heavy, too, and it was sharp.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on he had it on a stand. And I'm looking at the handle. And I said, yo, he says, the handle don't do shit. I was like, yo, I was going to ask you. What I'm saying? I want to pick it up and something else come out and cut me. Man, that was a blade sword. I don't know the name of it. But blade, man, that oh man, that sword was badass. I got one, and I didn't even mention this yesterday. Jesse Ventura's Gatling gun in Predator.
Oh man.
My
You
God.
know, when I first hooked my home theater system up, Predator was one of the best movies to put on at the time because it had that DTS audio on it when you're watching it at home. And do you remember when the Predator was in the tree and they couldn't see him and they were looking around, and the Predator, he has that weapon on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And he shot the thing, and it hit old boy and knocked him out, killed him. And when it goes shoom like that, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, on my home theater system, when I first, and this is when I was just starting out with home theater, so I had a different type of system. It was very cheap, but I thought it was the best thing in the world. But little Zenith speakers and stuff, the speakers was only 35 watts, man. It's like, but I thought my little studio apartment, I thought I was doing something right. I'm watching
art. It was for you. That's all that mattered.
Dude, I watched Predator I don't know how many times. But yeah, that Gatling gun that Jesse Ventura had in there, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
That was so dope that we hated to see how he died.
I know.
We liked the gun so much. We was like, damn, man, that's so
I ain't got time to bleed.
I ain't got time to bleed. Man, that thing was cutting the whole forest up, man. Loved it. Oh, how can we forget this? Your thoughts when you first saw RoboCop's gun?
Man, you know what? He was kind of like, if you want to say it for real, he was kind of like the original cinematic Iron Man, wasn't he?
Yeah, he sure was. He sure was.
Dead or
man.
alive, you're coming with me. Man, that dude. Yeah, RoboCop was awesome, bro.
And that gun, there's a name for it. And now they have bump stocks where you can actually have your handgun really do that.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, when you saw that in the movies in '87,
I remember when I saw RoboCop, because I went to the theater like with a group of friends and we went to see that. But I remember seeing that movie and thinking how cool it was because it was set in Detroit, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah,
in Detroit. But it's like, the guy that played him, I forget his name, the actor, but you know, he took a fall in there, and then they used that technology to kind of bring him back and all of that. But the movie was so badass. You know, it was like,
man.
It was. RoboCop was badass. Yeah.
You know,
they remade it too. They remade it, but if they remake it now, because of what they can do with special effects and stuff now, they could really make him awesome now.
The actor is still alive, man. I would want them to bring him back.
Yeah, he was something in that, man. He was very good. He kind of reminds me of Willem Dafoe, that guy,
right,
that played him. But
I would like for them to bring him back and just pick the story up. Pick the story up, because the new RoboCop, they made him do some amazing stuff, you know, but it didn't capture the same essence of when I first saw it in the theater. It was kind of like a reboot. I want them to bring back the original actor.
You know what I think what worked about the original, because he was half man, half machine, of course, but he wasn't over sensationalized to a degree that there was a stretch of the imagination. It was like you could kind of see if they could, you know, do some stuff like that. It's like, and he still fit within the realm of law and order and stuff. It wasn't like a superhero.
Right.
It was more like a special cop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. That's what it was. At least that was kind of like how I recall the impact being for me.
It was right on time. The 80s, RoboCop fit that genre. He fit that genre. In he looked cool. The way he spoke was cool. And that gun, holy smokes, that gun. That gun was something different. And I don't care what y'all say. They already did the crossover, RoboCop versus Terminator. RoboCop won. Look it up. RoboCop won. He took down Skynet, y'all. Go read it. And they also did the verses. And I know the Terminator's all fast and everything else, but RoboCop, there's things that he does that the Terminator doesn't do. And one of the major things as to why he beat the Terminator is because he still has human instincts. So I just wanted to point that out there. Murphy beat the Terminator. So let me see. Oh, I want to talk about this. One of the coolest weapons, and I think this is right up there with the Glaze, is the sword from a movie called Sword and the Sorcerer. It was three blades.
I remember that.
Sword and the Sorcerer. You know, I have that on VHS somewhere. I think it's at my brother's house. But goodness, that movie, first of all, the movie was vile as hell. Yo, did we do a show about violent scenes in movies? Because speaking of RoboCop, that was extreme. When I saw that, I was like, damn.
Yeah, RoboCop was very violent at the time.
That was crazy.
Now, that's the thing about that, where the violence in it was over the top.
Right.
The story was kind of grounded, but the violence, it was very graphic, you know, very graphic.
That was crazy. But he got all those mofos back. When that dude hit the toxic waste, yo.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. That scene when he ran up on his boy and was like, help me. And he screamed at him. Again, Academy Award for that dude. Because you don't know fear. When he grabbed him, he was like, help me. That dude was like, ah! He was like, help me. He said, don't touch me, man. And then when he got hit by the car, oh, man, yo, RoboCop was a vile film, man. That was a vile film. But
speaking of cops, you know, when we talked about doing this show behind the scenes, you know, how could we get beyond the major cop?
Oh, yes. Oh yes, bro.
Go ahead, make my day.
How long was the nozzle on that?
Man, I think if that was in 3D, I would be ducking. You know what I'm saying? Because Clint had a way of pointing them doggone Smith and Wessons at the camera, man.
Wesson, and it was ridiculous. I got a picture of it right now. Yeah, this thing will take your whole head off, bro.
Man.
Dirty Harry. Bro, that's over the top, man. That's old school. It's a revolver 6-shooter. It's a Model 29. And I swear to God, my pops had this. I had to ask him. I swear to God, he had this. But the nozzle on this was OD. And you just know when they wrote that, when this was written, they said Harry has to have something to make him stand out. They said, okay, he's a cop. With one-liners, you got to give him the most ridiculous-looking cartoon version gun. And at the time, it was a Smith & Wesson 29, Model 29. Oh, my God.
And the sound effects, like I said, if you got home theater, when he sets that bad boy off, it do sound just like a cannon.
Man. Boom. Doom. Yeah.
Now, this particular clip right here is from Sudden Impact. That was like after a few years, he hadn't made one of these. I think he had like maybe like 4 years or 5 years he hadn't done a Dirty Harry film.
Right.
And I remember I was at the theater, bro. My best friend, his name was Carl, and we had went to see this because, you know, when Sudden Impact came out, it was like a resurrection of Dirty Harry. It was popular, you know. So
yeah.
we had went to check this out, and we tripped out on this scene right here because they were in a diner, and these dudes that looked like Full Force came in there causing some trouble in the diner. And Harry Callahan was in the back or something, and they was in there trying to rob the joint or whatever. And he come out with that cup of coffee in his hand, and he was like, you guys want to, you know how he talked, you know,
yeah.
Knock it off and get on out of here or whatever. He was like, because we ain't just gonna sit here and let you do whatever, you know. And the dude, he had a bandana on his head, looked just like old boy from Full Force. He kick your fucking ass. Remember that guy from House Party? That's who he looked like.
Oh shit.
He was like, who is we, sucker? And he said, Callahan said, me, Smith, and Wesson. And he reached in his coat and pulled that cannon out. And he told old boy, go ahead, make my day. That was the line right there.
Yep. Go ahead, make my day.
Of course, his brains got splattered all over the diner, you know.
Man.
But,
oh.
Badass Clint Eastwood, boy, I tell you.
Fucking Clint. What I sent down there, that's a picture from Sword and the Sorcerer. Right down there.
Let me see. Oh, yeah.
Yep. That's 3 swords in one.
Yeah, the triple blade.
Yep. And one of them is a projectile. It shoots off.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie was vile too. There was a lot of blood. And matter of fact, they ain't waste no time. They resurrect this demon, and that woman starts sucking on his hand with the blood. It was crazy. I was like, "What is this?" Yeah, but that sword was badass. Y'all can Google sword from Sword and the Sorcerer. It's 3 blades in one. This was the coolest damn thing I've ever seen. in the fight at the end, where they were fighting the soldiers, and that dude got hit with the Morning Star, and his face got fractured. It was crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
But this movie was dope as hell. This movie was dope as hell, man. It's a cult classic.
It was in that early 80s run with Crow
Right.
and all of that. That was during
This
that
came
time.
out like the Conan era.
Yep.
This came out after Conan, but by then I was already hooked. Anything with barbarians in it, spaceships, cool guns, I was a sucker for it. And it was also cool when they mixed the medieval thing with sci-fi. That's what Crow was.
Yes. Yeah.
Man, that was great. That was great, man. Let me see if I can find this other thing.
Yeah, Conan was, man, let me tell you, speaking of that,
There you go.
listen, I was at Wizard World Comic Con about 3-4 years ago out here in Rosemont, Illinois. And the guy that made those swords for the movie Sword and the Sorcerer, Conan, and all of that, it's the same studio that makes those weapons. I got a chance to actually hold that Conan sword. That thing weighs about 15 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And look at how Arnold is twirling it and everything. You know, they brought in a real, like the guy in the movie, the little Japanese man that was training him was the real sword action choreographer for the film.
Yep.
And the real martial artist that showed Arnold how to use that sword. So imagine that's a 15-pound sword that he's twirling right there. I used to love that sword because it's got a hilt, and then right as the blade comes down to the hilt, there's like a special, like 6-inch. It's not a blade, but it's a handle where like you could take your hand and hold it for extra strength. And the rest of it is a blade. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. This guy that was I think I mentioned this to you. We had a flea market here years ago, and there was a guy that sold swords, and he had a replica of the Conan sword. And I tried to snatch it up, and it caught me off guard how heavy that damn thing was.
Yeah, man.
I was like, what the He said, yeah, it's not sharp. But he said, nah. He said, you know. And I said, wait a minute. This is what he was twirling in the goddamn movie?
Yep.
He said, yeah, apparently so. I said, sheesh. My God, man. Shout out to Arnold. Now I'm gonna set this up. I'm gonna explain what this. You might know what this is, but I'm gonna explain what this is. Because I just saw my brother in the my brother Young Deezy. He mentioned it, and incidentally, yes, sir. Let me get all files here. I know I saved it. Okay, I'm gonna have to just okay, here it is. Okay. That taxi. This taxi is a weapon. That's Harry Canyon's taxi from Heavy Metal, the animated movie. You remember that, Stormy?
I remember Heavy Metal. Yeah.
Yep. And this was the coolest story. I understand he had a short comic book run too, but I would like to have seen a whole film starring Harry Canyon. You know, and he was a taxi, but this thing had guns in the back. It was some of it was bulletproof, and if you jumped in his cab and tried to rob him, you pull up that next picture. he had some light back there that fried you and made you disintegrate. This dude said, "Okay, sucker, hand over your cash." And he pressed the button and fried that dude, and he disintegrated, and he dropped his gun. And he said, and he took the gun and put it in a glove compartment. He had blades and a grenade in there. It was like, God damn, how? And he was from New York. What up, Clarence? My brother Clarence McClain.
Yo, what's good, Clarence?
Yo.
Yeah, buddy.
So Harry Canyon's cab. That's a weapon. That was awesome, bro. That was awesome. Harry Canyon. Love that, man. This is a cult classic, by the way, y'all. This is a cult classic. If you haven't seen Heavy Metal, the movie, damn, that came out in 1981. In the soundtrack, you got to have a love for classic rock. The soundtrack is awesome. Soundtrack is on YouTube. You listen to it.
Yeah, Drew, take those down because I don't want to ban it from the studio. Just take them down in case you want to put some more up. Okay. Yeah.
I moved them.
What about this one here?
Oh, of course. Of course. Indiana Jones.
Man, he was badass with that whip, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was nice with it. Indiana Jones whip. He was nice with it. Man, that was awesome. Indiana Jones with the whip, man. But you know what the funniest part in Raiders of the Lost Ark, my mother, because again, I saw this in the movies. The scene where
that Arab guy.
Yeah, the Arab guy jumped out on him with the knife and did that. Yeah. He did the move. And he pulled out the shotty and blasted him. In the question, yo, my mother fell out her seat laughing at that. That dude jumped out, did some. He was like, boom, game over.
Dude, that scene right there was the funniest scene in years for a movie. Audiences and people, film critics, everybody talked about that scene for a long time. And you know what matched it? Crocodile Dundee. Remember with Crocodile Dundee and that guy pulled that knife out on him? He was like, what's that? The guy's like, that's my knife. He was like, that's not a knife. He was like, this is a knife. He pulled out that thing. That doggone blade that Nick Dundee pulled out, man. It looked like a doggone machete.
Man.
That was the equivalent to Indiana Jones shooting that Arab guy.
Man.
Audiences just roared with laughter for that. Crocodile Dundee, man.
And you know, that's one of those scenes in the movies that's eternal.
Yes, absolutely.
Everyone knows that line. That's not a knife. That's a knife. It's that. Luke, I am your father. Go ahead, make my day. It's right there.
Yep.
It's right there. Oh, Clarence, I get off at 7, bro. Y'all can still let me know if y'all still gonna be out there. I get off at 7. Let me know. That's why I hate this schedule. I'm like, why y'all got me coming in to ass crack of dawn during the week, and then on Saturday you give me late work? That is so stupid, bro.
Man, I wish I was there. I want some barbecue.
Yeah. Terrence is cooking, man. He's cooking.
Just the thought of it make me hungry.
No ducks on barbecue, man. And I get off at fucking 7. Barbecue some asparagus. Put some sauce on it. But yo, Clarence, put the information in the chat though. Anyway. Get off at fucking 7, bro. 7:27. Not 7:20. Not 7:30. 7:27. Fucking ridiculous. Yeah, thank you, Hen Dog. Get to the chopper. That's a one-liner right there. Get to the chopper.
Look at Young Deezy. Young Deezy is already ahead again on the game. Listen, man. He says Bruce Lee's nunchucks. Well, you know, all you got to do is say his name is for me, and you know, Stormy is ready, right? Man.
Oh, come on, bro. Into the Dragon. That's right before he beat. Actually, he beat Jackie Chan's ass. And that's a little after he kicked his ass. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yep.
That's Bruce there, boy.
Now, I got a story about those he's using. Yeah, I got to call my brother. My brother ordered from Black Belt Magazine, Stormy, the replica of what Bruce Lee used. Those right here that he got, that he's using, those were hard rubber with a chain.
Yeah.
And my brother has the yellow and black Game of Death nunchucks, the real ones, right? But not the string, not the cloth string. He has the chain.
Yeah.
He also has what they call the Coco Bolo nunchucks, replica used in Chinese Connection. No. I think it was Return of the Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
He has a copy of those, right? Chain, not the string. And he has these used in Into the Dragon, right? And it was hard rubber and they were heavy. Well, I haven't held them in a while, but when I was a kid, I'm like, yo, how the hell is he swinging them so freely? But I was a kid when he ordered those.
Hey, hold it down for me for a quick second.
Yeah. So my brother ordered those three nunchucks off of Black Belt Magazine in the 80s, y'all. In the 80s. Julian, good night, good brother. He ordered it in the 80s, man, and the hard rubber ones were they were heavier than the real ones he had. And my brother keeps stuff like I haven't asked him in a long time, but I'm sure he has them like in his closet somewhere. But this was the coolest thing. Bruce Lee made this weapon, right? Yeah, Black Belt Magazine, Young Jeezy. Yes, sir. Bruce Lee made this weapon a classic. He made this weapon a classic. I did a little, I don't know when I was reading younger, from what I understood, that this wasn't even a weapon. As a part of like Chinese history, they used it to do something in like for crops or something. They would like use it to like beat down crops or something. I don't recall. But man, when you first saw Bruce Lee use these, man, Bruce Lee passed on before 1975. But by the time I think the first Bruce Lee film I ever saw was probably Return of the Dragon, right? And I was hooked, man. And the coolest part, like I said, there's certain things that are synonymous with the character. And it's either something that they say, a one-liner, or if it's an action star, a weapon that they use. So when you think of Bruce Lee, one of the things you think of is the cat noises he makes when he fights, and these nunchucks. This was the greatest thing ever. Let me tell you how creative my dad was, right? Me and my brother were kung fu'd out growing up. We were always playing, like I was fighting them. We make them noises in the movies. We running through the house fighting each other and stuff, right? My pops, right? There was like no Home Depot back in the day. My father was always a tinkerer. He always would go to the hardware stores and he bought some I don't want to say it's foam, but it was like hard, it was like carpet type material. He rolled it up and glued it, and then put some rubber around each end, glued that, and then brought some like rope and connected them. And he came home, right? Stormy, I will never forget this. And they were green and black. And he came home and stood in the living room. and me and my brother looked at him and was like, "What's wrong with Dad?" And he looked at us like in the movie. He looked at us, and we was like, and he pulled one out. Was like, I was like, "Oh!" I said, "Give me!" And my brother said, "Wait a minute, we gotta share that." And then he pulled out another one. We was like, "Oh shit!" He made them. He made them, man. Oh my God! And you know what? They since made like plastic ones and that you bought at the little Asian stores. They were not better than the ones that my dad made, bro.
Look here, I want to share something. This is a little show and tell. There's a brother on the channels of YouTube. He's a Bruce Lee collector. His name is Charles Damiano. And then there's another guy that's good friends with him, Hector Martinez. These two guys are huge Bruce Lee collectors. They've been on for years, and their collections are so awesome. But Charles had a guy on as a guest, a friend of his, who makes the replicas of Bruce Lee's nunchucks for everything he did. When he was on the Green Hornet, he had a set of nunchucks. When he was in his 4 films that he did, 3 of the films he used nunchucks. That was Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon, and Enter the Dragon, and also later Game of Death. But in each outing, the nunchucks that he used were different.
Yes.
And this guy makes the replicas of the nunchucks that Bruce used, and he can make them 2 ways. He can make them with the real substance like wood, or he can do them where they're like the film prop that Bruce actually used in film. Now, Bruce used both, but one is safer than the other, of course. Now, this gentleman, you know, I was watching Charles's show. This was recently, a few months ago, and they had put his information out there. They said if you wanted to order some replicas, you know, the ones that he had in Way of the Dragon, they were thicker. They were a thicker wood handle and everything. But he makes them with the same exact chain length and everything. The ones in Fist of Fury that he used 2 different kinds in Fist of Fury. When he went to the Japanese school the first time and beat everybody up, that scene that you showed on your show the other day, that was one set. And then later when he fought the Japanese master at the end of the movie, he had a different set. And that different set had like circles around the handle. It was like it was, you know, tape going around it. But the ones he used in Enter the Dragon, the clip that you saw me just show a little bit ago, I think I pull it up again. There's another one. This right here, the set that he's using right here is a specially designed set because it has a certain chain length, and at the end of the chain links, before they attach to the base of the wood, they have something that's similar to like hooks. The kind of, they're not eye hooks, but they're the other kind of hooks, that clamp hooks that you can like put like a key ring on or something. But they're the smaller ones. So I told him, I said, man, I would love, even since I was a little boy, I wanted a set of those Enter the Dragon replicas, right? Well, Drew and chat, I ordered some from the guy. Here they are.
Look at that.
They are the exact replica like Bruce had in Enter the Dragon. Now I'm going to put it close to the camera so you can see the chain link of what I'm talking about. You see those hooks? At the end of the chain length? That's how Bruce's are in Enter the Dragon. The exact same. These are made out of a foam and rubber core. They're very light. They're not heavy.
Right.
And you can't use them to beat nobody up with, but they're just the replicas like Bruce used in the movie. I've been wanting these since I was a kid.
Wow.
And this guy makes them. They're so beautifully done. This is like a leather covering of the base. It has the same diameter, tapering diameter of the handles like he had in Enter the Dragon. Fully detailed, sewn in at the end here and at the base, and there's a seam goes down, but they are the exact replica of like what he used in Enter the Dragon.
My goodness.
And this is like for my collection, but it's like, and I don't collect a whole lot of stuff, but this is amazing. It's like having the originals. Same length of chain and everything. It takes him like 2 days to do them. The gentleman that makes them, if anybody's interested in getting that, I can provide the information. But this is awesome. This is awesome. And we're talking about over 50 something years that I've been looking to obtain those things. Because even the ones that you could buy out of Black Belt magazine and everything, they are similar, but they're not the exact.
They're not quite replica. Right.
These are the exact duplicate replica. And I'm like, just enthralled to have that.
Yeah, over the moon with that. That is awesome, man. That is awesome.
Yeah, so
salute to Bruce, man. He's very instrumental in pop culture, and that brother had swag. He hung around a lot of brothers, if y'all don't know.
Bruce his first swag. Student was a black man.
Yep.
His first Bruce student in the United States was a black man.
See, Bruce fucked with us for real. Moving on, if you look at the picture, and shout out to Troll Slayer, because I did think of this, so I ran and grabbed the picture. Let me tell you, again, I was in the theater. I saw this. This is Aliens. This was a sequel to the 1979 Alien. So they ran and got Sigourney Weaver. And let me tell you, Sigourney Weaver, she was the original whoop ass. Like for the women, you got to give Sigourney Weaver all of her credit. She was the original whoop ass. This film right here, when the queen was on that ship, and she came out in this and said the line, "Get away from her, you son of a bitch." She said, "Get away from her, you bitch." And she went 1D with that damn. Look, man, if you wasn't a Sigourney Weaver fan, something wrong with you. She was the original whoop ass for the ladies, man. She held it down. And when she came out with this, we was in the theater like, yo, man. This was one of those like times. This was one of those movie magic right here. This was movie magic right here. She came out with that, was fighting the queen. Come on, bro. You ain't getting no better than this. And it was a construction robot, but you just knew. She came out with that and the door opened. And we was in the theater like, what? She said, "Get away from her, you bitch." That's the line. We was like, oh, shit.
I felt like the Matrix copied off of them with those machines that they had in the last Matrix movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know the name of this exosuit. But my goodness, this was it right here.
In the Tom Cruise movie, they had those too. Edge of Tomorrow. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yo. How many times he died? That was funny, man. When he got rolled over by the truck, he was like, the army dude was like, "Jesus Christ, why'd you do that?" Oh, that was funny. Yeah, man. This right here, this was it right here.
Yeah,
I feel like we forgetting something, but you know,
No,
we could always
we can
revisit
come
this.
back. We can come back with more. We could come back with more. There's, you know, I know we're pressed for time. We're just about at the end of our
Yeah.
time, and I know you got, you know,
I get up
and everything, but
yeah.
this is what we do with this show, man. It's like the time just goes like that.
Yo, you know what I just thought of? Did we do a show on the best villains in a movie?
No, we didn't do that. That's one of the ones that we had put down on the list. But remember, you just mentioned earlier in this show the best villain soldiers. So
Right.
you know that can kind of fall into the same kind of category, really.
You know what? Yeah, let's do that. Best villains, you know, in their soldiers. Yeah. That's gonna be awesome. Oh man, that's gonna be a dope ass show. I gotta get all the pictures. I got everything in my head right now.
And I think it was Young Deezy or one of the other brothers out there that said they wanted us to talk about the Spawn animated series. We gotta do a show on that too.
Series. That's a great series because
I've got it on DVD.
Yeah.
I mean, watch it to refreshing myself because I haven't watched it in a long time. I remember when it was on HBO. Yeah, Young Deezy. I thought that was you. That's why I said it was you or someone was asking us to do Spawn, the animated series. I got the Spawn movie with Michael Jai White that recently got released earlier this year or late last year, I think. Late last year or early this year on 4K.
Wow.
Yeah. I thought that movie was badass when it came out because that scene where he crashes in on Martin Sheen and he comes down from the ceiling and his cape comes out and everything. I was like, that was so bad, man.
Yeah.
Coming down.
I heard they were supposed to be remaking it.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
They were talking about Jamie Foxx too playing it, but I'm like, you know what? Todd McFarlane, I don't know what's going on with him because there have been several projects attached to him, primarily the Spawn thing, but he hasn't made a move on it yet. And I think that's because he's probably not giving up any of the creative license to it.
No, you're right. You're right.
I respect that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I want him to have creative control on it because that's a dark character.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Todd, man. I got Spawn #1 signed by him. I got Spawn #1 signed by him. And I have it airtight. I'm not even opening it. I have it airtight. I have it in storage. I have a bunch of his you know, he had a bunch of toys made. I got a bunch of those shits. I got a bunch of them. And shout out to Todd, man. Him and Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld and Wills Portacio and Eric Larson and I think Art Adams. A few guys I'm missing. They took art comic books to another level in the 90s, man. Like when I was in high school, like late 90s. No, like early mid 90s. Holy smokes, that was impressive, man.
I remember in the Michael Jai White Spawn film when he went up the side of that wall and the police was trying to put their searchlights up and he made himself look like the wall.
Yeah.
He disappeared into the beam. That was kind of cool. Yeah, it was, you know, for the time that it was made, you know.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I liked it. 10:30. I gotta pack it up.
Yes, sir. Final thoughts, bro. Final thoughts.
The great part about this is that we can always come back and do a part 2 because there's a lot of things that we didn't, you know, we didn't miss it. We just ain't have enough time to speak on it. And
Yeah.
that's what this show is about, man. You can reminisce, and there's always things that pops in my mind. And as y'all can see, we're thinking of other shows as we're doing this show. So, you know, this is just fun, man. This is just so much fun, man. Appreciate you, man. This is dope. And can't wait to see what we do next week. It's gonna be fire. Yeah, hell yeah.
So, well, I just want to say that it's been a pleasure doing this particular episode. I believe that even everybody in the chat, we got so much a positive response to like what we did share and talk about already, because again, this is a kind of thing where people can come together and just be like hang and talk stuff about nerding out, you know. That's what this show is all about. And I'm glad and proud to be able to do something like that where people can come and just let their hair down about, you know, this aspect of culture. So I appreciate it. Everybody that's out there, you know, share the show, you know, post it to your social medias and everything, because this kind of stuff, people be looking for this kind of stuff. I know I do, you know.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we're gonna get ready to get on out of here. Appreciate you, Drew.
No doubt, brother.
It's been another knockout of the park with this one. So
yes, sir.
Yeah. So
all right, good brother.
All right, take it easy, bro. Okay. So I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. And we're gonna pay some bills before we go. But I appreciate everybody out there.